Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome back to another exciting episode of my podcast, The Way Life Ought to Be. Happy Friday. I like Fridays. Fridays are awesome. They are an indication that we survived the work week. And that, my friends, is a good thing. That makes me happy. That is simply amazing. Please subscribe, share, like, and any reviews that you could put on Apple Podcast or on any of the other social media podcast platforms that this podcast is available on would be greatly appreciated. Spotify, Google Podcast, and Apple Podcast, also Stitcher as well. I greatly appreciate it. It is a huge honor to bring this podcast to you multiple times a week, and I hope that we all can fight together to become the best versions of ourselves that we can possibly be. That being said, my friends, the topic of today's podcast is the struggle worth it? Is the struggle worth it? On the way life ought to be. When we get caught up in our lives and we are mired down in the day-to-day minutia of working, paying our bills, cleaning our house, walking our dog, washing our clothes and dishes and whatever it is, we can really get to a point where we lose sight and the clarity that we once had when we were looking towards our goals and our dreams and our aspirations can become muddied. The struggle is real. The struggle is ever present. It's pretty much every day, and it would really help us if we could look at this together and just look at different ways that we could get through this life in a better manner. And how can we do that? Well, first of all, let me explain who this episode is for. This episode is for the mother that gets up early and makes her children breakfast, lunches for school, helps them get dressed. The person dealing with depression or anxiety that keeps fighting to get through. The father that gets up in the dark and comes home in the dark and wonders if it's all worth it. The pastor that is sacrificing so much to reach people for God. The person that is or is in the process of getting divorced and feels the pain of loss. The one who lost a loved one and doesn't know if they can go on. The lonely people, poor people, happy people, rich people. The teenager that struggles with self-harm, the lost, the found, whoever is hearing this message, the struggle is real. And feels ever present sometimes. But life is worth it. You are worth it. You are incredibly valuable. I'm not trying to have a depressing show today, but the struggles of life are real and they are sometimes constant. And it feels like they're never going to end. You wake up in the morning, you walk out into your garage, your driveway, and you put your key in your ignition and you're like, oh my goodness, did I not just do this yesterday? How did a day pass and I'm back in the same spot again? Did I do anything fun? I oftentimes look at the time of the month that we are in or the end of the work week and I think, what? We're in the fall already? Did I do all of the fun things that I had planned for summer? I don't remember doing them. I don't remember grilling out a lot. I don't remember having a blast. Going to watch, we do watch fireworks on the 4th of July, but it just seems to go so quickly. I kid you not. My wife and I, we have 4 children. We go buy groceries. Usually she goes to buy the groceries, but I go with her sometimes. And I can't believe that we're already a week later buying more groceries. It just seems like it's going like that. Just, it's incredible. I knew I was going to get older. We all know we're going to get older. We don't have a way to not have that happen, but doesn't it feel like the acceleration is cray-cray? Like, cray-cray! It's cray-cray, man. I didn't know it was going to accelerate. I anticipated that I would get older, get more mature, and begin being very responsible, and the days would last very, very long, and I would just chill. I would go to work, get all of my duties completed, come home and have long evenings sitting on the couch, talking to my wife, sipping a cup of coffee, or reading the paper, discussing what's going on around the world. Kind of like Ward and June Cleaver. I don't know if you've ever watched the show Leave It to Beaver, but that's how it was. He would come home and he would sit on the couch and he would look really cool. He always looked really cool. And he would be like, boys, you know, you need to clean your room. And they would just do it. They would comply. It was amazing. And he would sit and drink his coffee, and it was so great. I'm like, I want to be like that. I'll be like that guy. All the way down to every part, the cool pleated pants, everything. Not happening, though. It's not working out that way. But that is okay. Now, the struggles of life are real. We all have them. Sometimes we're cruising through, it's going amazing. And it's just wonderful. We're like, I'm feeling awesome. I feel healthy. I feel alive. I feel energized. I feel really great. But then other days you're like, I don't get it. Come on, man. I'm doing the same thing. Why do I feel like I'm struggling? There are times when we can't see how to possibly move forward. It is more important than ever in those times to just stand up. Okay? Stand up. When you wake up in the morning, you don't want to get out of bed because you're like, what is the deal? Force yourself out of bed. Put one foot in front of the other. One foot in front of the other, and continue to choose. Make a conscious choice to live. It's very, very important. And it's very, very much more important when you're mired down in heavy struggles to continue with the forward momentum. Do not relent. Don't give up any real estate. I know the pain is real because I'm a person and I live and I struggle as well. But at the end of the day, if you continue to walk forward, it will preserve your forward momentum, and it will more quickly get you out of the mires and the struggles. For example, I walk every day in the dark. In our community, most people aren't even awake yet. They're in bed. I don't know what they're doing. Drinking coffee, probably doing their rapid eye movement sleep, like the sleep that you get when you roll around in your bed all night long, planning your life, solving all of the world's problems, and then right before your alarm goes off, you look over, you're like, oh, dude, what time is it? And you're like, oh, man. Then your body shuts down, and you fall asleep, and you sleep like a dead man. It's unbelievable. But you get about 10 minutes of it, so it's really not enough. But I wake up during that time, and I walk. And a lot of days I'm tired. Pretty much the first 7 days of the week, if I'm being honest, I'm tired. But I wake up, and I throw on my walking shorts or shoes or whatever, and I do a lot of thinking, praying, and reflecting during this time. It's just a great way to refocus what you're actually trying to accomplish. Oftentimes, we can feel alone. We can feel very insignificant. We can feel as if our life, or even we, don't matter. As if what we are doing does not hold any value. It's easy as we get older to think that our best days are behind us. I'm 40 now. All of the best days are behind me. I've lived all of the good parts of my life, and now I must just drift into worthlessness. Lying on the couch, watching reruns of MASH. Nothing against MASH, but just watching reruns of whatever and waiting to die. I will die, and I will die sitting here sad, doing nothing. Not a good approach at all. Don't accept these lies. They are simply lies. You were made to live. Each and every one of you that is listening to this podcast, you were made to live and have an impact from day one of your life. I believe right up to the very last breath of your life. That is what your life is supposed to be about. An impact, a purpose, a reason, right up to the very last breath. In this day and age of social media and heavy and frequent comparison, it is easy to feel less than. But do not believe the lie. I know what it's like. You go on Facebook and you buy a car. Say that you buy a car of some type and you're happy. You're like, gosh, this is cool. I've got a car. It has a pretty cool stereo and it runs smooth. This is great. Wow, I love it. And you're kind of in a good mood. And then you go on Facebook and you look and there's someone else and they got a new car. And it's way better than your car. And it's for real. You're not just making it up. It is way better. Yours is a sedan efficiency car and theirs is a cool sports car or a really rockin' SUV or something. And you're like, I'm trying to make myself believe that mine's good still, but it is not. It's tough. But the issue is, will we believe that lie? And I say don't. It's a lie. Okay? It's simply a lie. Don't let those things define you. What defines you is your internal value. I heard someone once say that if you struggle to believe in yourself, I believe it was Grant Cardone, Uncle G, if you struggle to believe in yourself, sometimes you need to allow other people to believe in you for a while. And that can be a real thing. If you're going through a tough time or a struggle and you're having difficulty seeing the finish line, allow other people to believe in you. There are people that will stand beside you and they'll believe in you and they'll put faith in you and just hold on. I believe in you. Every one of you. And I know that God has great things and God has a purpose for your life. You are not a mistake or an accident. You are a miracle. Quite simply, in all actuality, you, all of you, every single one of you listening, are the culmination of a series of miraculous events. Let that sink in, because I know some of you are walking, riding your bike, sitting in your living room, riding in a car, driving a car, maybe you have your AirPods on and you're on the subway. Wherever you're at, you need to know. You're not an accident. You ain't no accident, man. You are not an accident. You are a living miracle. You are literally the culmination of a series of miraculous events. Please never forget that. You are amazing. You were born for a reason and a purpose. Sometimes it can be difficult to see our purpose while we are in the struggle of everyday life. I looked up the word struggle in the Merriam-Webster dictionary, and it says a violent effort or exertion. But I liked this one the best. Struggle is an act of strongly motivated striving, a struggle to make ends meet. An act of strongly motivated striving. That, my friends, is key. Strongly motivated. What strongly motivates you? What is your why? Why do you do it? Why do you wake up in the morning? Why do you keep going to work? Why do you do it? Strongly motivated striving. It even says in the Bible, in John 16, I have told you these things. This is Jesus talking. He said, so that in me you may have peace. In this world, you will have trouble. But take heart, I have overcome the world. It clearly states we are going to have trouble. Bottom line, it's a fact of life, y'all. So how do we roll with it? Now that we've determined the struggle is real and is an inevitable part of our life, how do we approach those struggles, and what do we do to make sure that we don't lose faith and we don't lose motivation and we don't lose our drive to continue moving forward? One way that I have found that I can get through my hardest days and my heaviest struggles is to think back to what causes me to wake up in the morning. What matters to me most, and why am I going to my job? Why do I make my podcast? Why do I struggle? Why do I do it? Why do I do what I do? What am I trying to do here? It can be very helpful to ask yourself these questions and even write down the answers. I was a person that in school, whenever there was a lecture or a lesson, if I would grab my notebook and write down what they were saying, I can really submit it to my memory a lot easier, and it stays with me, and I could do very well on the test at that point. You need to write these things down. Be very clear. Ask yourself these questions. Why do I struggle? What is it that is most important to me? What is the reasoning that I get up in the morning? Why? Is it my kids? Is it for my wife? Is it because I am part of a nonprofit that is helping people survive cancer? I'm just throwing ideas out there. Is it because of my church? Do I want to volunteer? Is it because I am focused on helping people know God? Is it because I want to help my community? Is it because I want to teach my children through my example that they can have a better life and they can achieve dreams and they can go after their goals and they can actually attain them? What is your why? A lot of people put together dream boards. I don't know if you know what a dream board is, but it's simply a board that you would put your dreams on. I would encourage you to do that. It's a great idea. Don't put your dream board together, put it in your linen closet, and never look at it again. That would be a one-time event. You need to put your dream board together and keep it in a place where you can actually look at it regularly. You'll want to see it as often as possible, because every time you see that dream board, it will reignite your why. For example, if your children's education is why you work 2 jobs or why you bust your butt saving money, whatever it is, write on your dream board, put a picture of your children or child and write, my children's education is important, whatever. So that when you look up and you wake up in the morning in the dark and you feel like heck and your back hurts and you're like, oh my goodness, what am I doing? The dream board will look right back at you and say, you know what? Your kids mean a lot to you and you're trying to help them go through college. You want to change their life. You want to pour life into them. Or you could put a picture of your wife or your husband on there, or your cousins, or a cause that you give to, your church. Or you could just simply put a picture of a dream that you have, of owning a business, of paying your house off. But be very detailed with your dream board. Make it as believable as possible. When your why is big enough, the how will take care of itself. When your why is big enough, the how will take care of itself. It just will. For example, if my house is on fire, my why is pretty big. I'm looking outside, I see areas that aren't on fire. I see a window. likely I will jump out of that window at some point. Now, if it's a sunny day, my house isn't on fire, I don't know that my why is big enough to jump out the window. I'm just going to call that one up front. I might look out the window and think, no, why would I do that? When I'm on fire, not a bad option. I think I'll probably do it. The why gets big enough at that point. Rachel Platten has a great song. It's called Fight Song. A lot of you probably know it. Fight Song by Rachel Platten. Some of these lyrics are very powerful. She said, "This is my fight song. Take back my life song. Prove I'm all right song. My power's turned on. Starting now, I'll be strong. I'll play my fight song. And I don't really care if nobody else believes. Because I've still got a lot of fight left in me." Until we actually get to a point where we really don't care what everybody else believes, we will be handicapped. We will be shackled. We will be trapped in a life that does not allow us to go after the purpose and our true reason for being on this earth. It can be really hard to persevere and fight through the struggles that this life will throw at you. And if you don't begin to think, I don't care what other people think. I don't care. I don't care, man. Am I you? I don't care. You think what you want. You do what you want. I'm me. I don't care. You do not get to dictate my life, bruh. We have 4 kids, and my teenage kids are always saying, bruh. Guess that's bro. I don't know. It's like, I don't get it. Apparently I'm 100. But I don't care what other people believe, man. It's my life. Okay? We need to release that oppression that other people put on us and let it go. We need to let it go and make sure that we're moving forward, that we're going to get through the struggle. We need to be victorious. And we need to become the best version of ourselves that we can be. So a quick recap. Struggle's real. In this life, we're going to have trouble. We don't really get a way around that. How do we deal with it? What will help us to get through these struggles? Writing down why we're doing what we're doing. Writing down our goals in as clear and definitive manner as possible. Making a dream board. Putting these things up where you can see them. So that when you're in the struggle, you can see the light, the hope at the end of the tunnel. My friends, the struggle is real. Do not give up. Do not believe the lie that it is not worth it, because it is worth it. Please share, subscribe. Please review this podcast at Apple Podcast. I hope you all have an incredible day. And although in this life we all have struggles, I hope that you come through shining like gold on the other side. Have an amazing day, and thank you for tuning in to The Way Life Ought to Be. God bless.